Okay. So, basically, did this thing have a gasket? No, it didn't have a gasket. So, what I'm talking about now, alright, the thing that's missing today, that I think that drives me absolutely crazy, and I do not understand why nobody picks it up. Only a handful of my friends and I, it seems like, but drag racing, man, it's missing something. I can't really explain exactly what it is. All I know is I don't want to look at it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to go. I don't want to sit in the stands and watch the cars. And I tell you, I don't like to say that because I know it takes tremendous nerve. It takes balls of steel to drive any kind of race car. And I know that those guys strapping 8,000 horsepower to their backs and flying down the track could die any minute from anything from a flat tire to whatever. I know all that, and I respect it. I do, and I respect them. But I can't get interested in it. You know, between all the logos and the vinyl signage and the big boxy bodies and the giant money, I mean the unbelievable money. You take a family of four to a pro drag race, and God, man, you're out a couple $100 and you're sitting in the direct sun all day. You're watching, you know, basically the same car go down the track 25 times, and I know there's a little bit of drama here and there, and there's, you know, sadly a lot of people, you know, they want to see that crash, man. They want to, hey, Dan, can you hold this in until I got to get a nut. Just put your finger on that. Let me go get it. So, as much as I'd like to, I just don't get it, man. I just don't see. I don't see it. I don't see what these new guys see. I don't see what the guys on the Garth Brooks colorful shirts and the big short pants. I don't see what they see, man. I don't love it like they love it. But I want to. You know, I want to get involved in something that is national, you know, that has the tremendous violence and noise and the drama and the speed and the action. I just don't want to do it like them. You know, it's not because I'm too hip or too cool or whatever. It's just because I just don't get nothing out of it. I can't explain why. But this thing right here, this is my world, man. I mean, pass or fail, if I take it out there and it does nothing, then I'm just going to sell it to some guy. He can turn it into a bracket car for all I care, and I'm out of it, man. I mean, I ain't saying that to be mean or be an asshole or nothing, but drag racing's got nothing for me outside of this car. Maybe vintage funny cars, you know, if they stay looking vintage. I mean, they're already turning into bars of soap with barn door wings, you know. And just because they put a damn Nova decal grill on the front of the thing doesn't make it a vintage funny car, you know. And I hope those guys stay in it and get some painters with some work, you know, get some metal flake on those things, get some sign painters to lay some bitchin' tight. There's just so much art that's being wasted out there that could be applied to these things. I mean, this is a painting on the wall that'll murder you, man. You know, this is a 220 mile an hour violent explosion of artwork. And I'm amazed that point isn't driven home more often. I'm amazed that these points aren't made and they're not exploited and they're not developed because, you know, Nitro eats the lettering off the car. So that means, you know, hey, the guy makes another couple $100 because he re-letters the car. Cool. Or you change your sponsors. So God forbid you got to sand the paint off. Whoop-de-doo. You know, it's another opportunity for another cool paint job. But man, this is the shit. This car, to me, is the shit. And it's always been the shit from the time I was 6 years old. And they were extinct by the time I was 6 years old. I mean, it's a pipe dream even thinking about ever running this thing. I mean, you know, my dad was a hellacious mechanic, but he made $6 an hour. And I just, you know, it just didn't seem realistic. I mean, resurrect a long dead car, run it in anger, hard, in competition, against cars that cost millions. There's no other car like it. There's nobody to race against. So what? You know? Sooner or later, if I can make it up and down the track enough times to prove my theory and to get this thing out in the world for real, there'll be at least one crazy motherfucker that'll race against me. That's all it's going to take. Two of us, wheels up, tires blazing, driving the cars down the track one way or another, yanking on the brake, man, steering the car, pedaling the car, doing whatever the hell it's going to take to get down to the other end of the track first in a beautiful work of art. I mean, I don't see a downside. I mean, I get, you know, people talk shit all the time, you know. Oh, it's going to be slow. Oh, it won't hook. Oh, it won't this. It won't that. You know, blah, blah, blah. I want to race. I don't care about art. Well, all the guys that just want to race have pretty much, it's killing drag racing. Because fans don't have the loyalty for the car they used to have. The variety isn't there in drag racing. It's basically a bunch of guys that can afford it. And I ain't taking nothing away from them. Hey, if you figured out how to come up with enough money to blow up a motor a weekend and still do it and not starve your kids, great. You're a bad motherfucker. But, you know, there's got to be another way to do it. A cooler way. You know? I mean, with this gig in the 60s, you had a tow push car. You had a home-built trailer built specifically for your car, which was bitchin'. I mean, think of all the design, you know, exercises, all the little cool little things you could do just designing the trailer. I mean, hell, I nerd out on that stuff all the time. My trailer is really minimal, really bitchin', and it's got to be super lightweight, you know. Build you a badass little station wagon or pickup truck. Build it as cool and as custom as you want. Build a bitchin' chopper to throw on the trailer for a pit bike. Make everything match, metal flake it, candy it, chrome it. You know. So, you push start your rail. And you got your pit bike down there because one of your crews got it. So you got this bitchin' rigid pan head on the line. You got your lowrider station wagon that just pushed your top fuel dragster to the line. Everything looks badass. The rail lines up. Launches, smokes the tires, 6-foot flames, front wheels in the air, things all over the track. Bad motherfucker, right? Get to the end of the track, then there goes the push car. Lines up, everybody piles in it. It smokes the tires off the line. Beautiful metal flakes slammed on the ground. Fantastic hot rod. And then the last guy jumps on that pan head, kicks it off, rips down the track on the pan head. And that's just one race. That's just a bunch of people getting together having fun. You know, it's like, why not? You know, you can involve everybody. You can do everything. You can build a lowrider. You can build a chopper. You can build a fueler, a rail, a trailer. You can nerd out in every automotive skill you've got. You know, it doesn't have to be a semi. It doesn't have to be a brand new Cheyenne with an enclosed trailer. And, you know, it doesn't have to be all that, you know. It could be this. It doesn't have to just be about nostalgia. You can start off with this stuff and pretend you never saw a 65 front engine tire smoker. What kind of creativity is going to come? I mean, what if the Japanese get involved? Look what they've done with choppers, bobbers, customs. What if the Swedes and the Dutch and the Belgians and what if they start doing it? You know? I mean, have you seen their fucking motorcycles, man? God. They could go anywhere. I don't know, man. And this kind of deal seems like a win-win, you know? And where's that other nut? I'm missing a nut. I don't know where it went. It ain't the motor.